There we go. Wake them up, wake them up. It's Wednesday. Wake them up, wake them up. It's Wednesday. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And if you're on your way to bed, good night, sweet dreams, and rest tight. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Coach Eb, your favorite wake up coach. Y'all know what it is every single Wednesday. Here we are over here on YouTube. Y'all know what we do. We come at you with a pain into power story. It's the Pain into Power Powercast. I used to call it a podcast, but since we're talking about power here on this here channel, it's the Powercast. And every Wednesday, I have a very special guest coming to the stage, coming to the power seat to tell you, to tell me, to tell us together, because it's all exclusive about a story of how they turned their pain into power, how they took a negative and they turned it into a positive. This Wednesday, I told y'all last week, I had another cousin brother that was coming to light up and fire up this power seat. Listen here, I have my big cuz, because he older than me, and he my big cuz, and I can't play, and you can't play with me, because if you play with me, he gonna come mess with you. I'm just saying, that's just how it works. My big cuz Reggie Baldwin is in the building, coming through to tell us about his pain into power story. Reg, cuz, go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on? This is Eb's big cuz, Reggie Baldwin. I I am a videographer, photographer. I got the WBAG podcast. Um, I'm currently employed for the Saginaw Public School District, and I'm a track coach, Saginaw United High School. And you know, I'm straight 989. You already know.
That's what's up, cuz. I thank you so much for joining me on this evening, for being here with me. I thank you so much for giving your yes, because you could have been anywhere else. But right now, you chose to come on here and hit us with a story that somebody out there, maybe it's me, maybe it's them, needs to hear. If it's not one, it could be 10, it could be 100 of y'all that need to hear this story. So tell us about a time where you had a pain, something negative, and you took that negative and you put your thing on it. You worked hard. You put in the work. You turned that negative into a positive, aka you turned your pain into power. The floor is all yours.
Whew. These days, that question is, I'm not even sure where to begin. But right now, as we speak, and I really don't speak a whole lot about it, but I have my mother currently is suffering from dementia, and I had to pretty much put a lot of things that I was doing on the back burner in order to make sure she didn't have to be in a place where people didn't care for her. I wanted to make sure she was home. I wanted to make sure she was loved and taken care of by her family. So um, doing that, I think God blessed me in so many ways that of my life that I've been working on for a long time. But he started opening doors and started showing me different things. And I started understanding life differently. Um, it's teaching me to sometimes it's cool to stay where you are and protect your home. It reminds me of how I treat my daughters now and how they look at me now, because that reflects my mother is an awesome mother. It's no way that I wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for her support. So I'm standing in the gap and I'm not going nowhere. You
I
hear me?
love that. I absolutely love that. First of all, to anyone that takes on that type of that to love your parent that much, that you are caring for her during this stage in her life, that's major. I give you major kudos. Big ups to you for what you are doing. And you even said that you had to put some things on hold. You had to put some things on for a pause momentarily. And being that you put them on pause, it's going to be there when it's time. It may not be the time for that right now. There's other things because family is always first. Family always needs to be taken care of. So kudos to you for doing that for her.
Yeah, yeah. But it's all good. It pretty much it allowed me to understand my siblings different as well. Um, it just teaches you about patience. It teaches you about my mother was a Sunday school teacher, so she always taught us about faith and trusting in God and not leaning in on your own understanding. And if you're gonna pray, don't worry. If you're gonna worry, don't pray. Like you really gotta when you're in a situation like that, you really gotta stand on business for real. You gotta
Right.
really be about it because it's game time now. It's time to be there. Lost my father in 2017, last parent. So you stand in the gap and you just remember everything they taught you, and you just that's what you do. But it didn't stop. It doesn't totally stop things. Got a lot of support from my wife, my brother, my sister, and we encourage each other to continue to live our lives, take breaks, take mental health breaks. And I know some other people that might be dealing with taking care of a parent, and I know it can be rough sometimes, but I would say stay positive, spend that time, have conversations. They understand what you're going through. If it's God's will, they'll bounce back. But God's will be done one way or another.
What type of conversations have come up that have brought you and your siblings closer together because of you all doing what you're doing for Sister Baldwin?
Um, Disagreements, because sometimes you have to break things down to ground zero and understanding understanding things a little bit different. Like you're gonna disagree, but after you disagree, then you come to some type of conclusion and you build with each other and you understand each other. You give a little, you know, and you get a little. You just really have to just try to be as fair as possible, meet right in the middle. And man, it's a never ending battle. It ain't easy. Sometimes you might be at each other's throat for real, but you know the way my mother raised us, she don't play that. She still don't play that, and we still respect that.
Right. Now, Mama Rose never played that at all.
No,
At all. That's what she didn't do.
right.
Through this process that you're going through, what is something that Reggie Baldwin, something that you were like, how do I put this? Like you were dead set on, and you had to take a moment to take a step back and think about it and change the way that you handle things.
I was dead set on. Could you say that one more time?
So, what's something that, say, for example, you did something a certain way before having to take care of Sister Baldwin,
Hmm.
and now that you are taking care of her the way that you are, what's something that has changed inside of you as a person that you weren't that way before, but now you're a completely different person?
Um, Hopefully I can answer the question the way you asked, but I'm real big on following through with what my mother and father asked. So showing an integrity, even if it's something I don't agree with, I know what they clearly asked. So I take pride in making sure everything they said fell through exactly. So that piece to me is so vital and it's so necessary. And you really when they can't patrol you, you still have that integrity and those standards that you stand on regardless. Something that's concrete. And even if you're not on the chain, you still contain because Those are your, you know how our whole family, all of us, it's certain things we didn't do. Is we didn't take it too far.
Right.
It's like a shield. Once things got to a certain point, and we kind of help hold each other accountable to make sure we continue to. I don't know if I went off the radar, but you know,
Now you fine. Keep going. You good. You good.
yeah. So that's it. And is it easy? Nah, it's not easy. I might be chilling at the crib, hear a song, and I'm crying, or hear my mother being discomfort, and it's rough. But everybody can't be sitting up crying and boo-hooing, and somebody got to be in there to take care of that business. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. It seems like it's harsh, but that's what it is.
One thing that out of from what you just said that I'm so glad that you said is 1 minute that you could be sitting there listening, chilling, watching TV, listening to some music, and then you start crying. Another minute you hear that Sister Baldwin is uncomfortable, and it's like, okay, um, I'm hearing you say you don't have to be strong all the time, but in certain moments you do need to be strong. But the fact that you know that it's okay to cry, it's okay to let that out, it's okay to release. You don't have to hold it in, because holding it in can make situations worse for you in the end because of holding it in, because you didn't release what you needed to release. So I appreciate the fact that you said, yeah, I sometimes I gotta let that out, sometimes I gotta cry. And what you're doing is so selfless. You still honoring what she wants, how she want it, because you know that, hey, this is how she want things done. This is what she wants you to do for her, and she don't expect nothing different. And you better do what she said, because you already know
Better do it.
that better. Okay, so
Better do
having
it.
that level of integrity is amazing, because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people do what they want to do. Well, I'm the one that have to do it. So this is how I'm gonna do it. No, first of all, I love, I love my mother, so I'm gonna do things this way. You love your mother, so you're gonna cherish everything and do everything to straight to a point of how she wants it done. And that's big of you, because like I said, a lot of people become selfish during situations of having to take care of a loved one, having to take care of a parent, especially a parent. Like, she brought you into this world. How dare you not do what she wants? It's been many times she said, I brought you in, I could take you out. So
Right.
you
Right.
do what she wants you to do. So like I said,
Right.
I commend you. I commend you.
I think
Big
I think it's that respect, that nourishing that children get from their mother, and that's really, I think that's something that goes hidden and nourishing. Some people like to uh victimize somebody that's being nourished. Sometimes they might try to point the finger at them like they soft, but if you don't have that balance, because my father, you already know, he was hardcore, but on the other side I had Rosie, same lady, made a song for it, a couple of years back. Like, yeah, she's different. She's, you know, good. She reminds, your mother has that type of spirit. Penny, she's a beautiful spirit as well.
Most definitely. She definitely has a beautiful spirit. Your mother and my mother, definitely. Both of them.
Yeah,
I remember the days of coming over and she was in the basement doing hair, doing everybody hair, walk in the house. That's all you smell is hair.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Your grandmom's down there getting their hair done, and they cousins, so they down there chilling. That's like they love club or something. That's they elks. That was they elks. Sister Herb was down there, my mama down there. Everybody popping up down there. And then when them hours was over, they was doing puppets down there. They had the trap jumping back in the day.
Oh, down there sewing puppets, putting puppets together for the puppet ministry at church.
People
Wow.
getting people getting Jerry curls down there. I'm talking about them at church. I ain't gonna name all the Jerry curls either, because I ain't gonna do them
Don't
like
say
that.
who y'all are, but y'all
I ain't
have
gonna name Paul and Delphine and Terrence, Dre. Everybody had curls. We ain't gonna say none of them names. We gonna leave it back at Bethlehem Temple.
listen. Back in the day, boy, I tell you, had you fried that leg to the side real quick and then get your puppet together. I remember that when we put the we used to do the puppet shows at church at Bethlehem Temple.
Yeah.
Those were some very, very good times.
And in college, I was able. I went to film school at Delta College, the media broadcasting,
Mhm.
and we had to come up with a show and of puppets. And I'm like, oh, so this right up my alley. This is what my mama do right here. So,
Wow.
so I ended up naming one of the characters after her, Rosie the Robot,
Really?
and it aired on the public access channel. But I showed my mother, and I was like, this is my this is my bow to you for showing me the puppet thing, and this is a project we had to do in school that came on regular TV. So I thought that was cool.
That is dope. I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That I did not know that. Wow. Wow. That is what is something that give me two things that Sister Baldwin taught you growing up that you're currently using right now and caring for her.
My mother was, she was a beautician. She was a Sunday school teacher, but she also was a nurse. She wasn't a nurse, but she was a nurse. If you know what
Uh-huh.
I mean. She was a type of person that I remember me and Vernell was riding, our cousin Vernell Harris. If you look in this, you already know this story. So we riding down the street, and I jumped a ramp because we were some daredevil kids. Jumped the ramp, and the chain got caught in my leg because I had some long bell bottom type pants on. Chain got caught in my leg, and it ripped some of the skin off. And Vernell would say, I'm down on the ground crying, talking about some. He said, "Say thank you, Jesus." I said, "What you mean, say thank you, Jesus? My leg bleeding. You talking about some say thank you, Jesus?" But anyway, Sister Hurricane, they came out there, got the towel, put it on my leg, and my mother got me home, and I don't know what kind of potion she mixed up to, to get me healed, but she had me together. I'm telling you, like it healed to the point I was wondering would I ever have like regular function in my leg, but I ended up being like a record holder in high jump, so that couldn't have nothing to do with it.
Wow. What's something else that that she's taught you that you're doing for her right now?
um, well, even though she's not eating all the food, that she really taught us how to cook. She taught us how to learn how to cook for ourselves. I can't. My wife taught me a lot about cooking too. I ain't trying to discredit her because she did, but some you already know. Some of the Rosie Baldwin recipes was on point.
Hidden.
You already know. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. She can burn. She taught me that for sure. I learned a little bit of it. I should have been paying more attention.
They'd be like, my dad, yeah, we're gonna go by Sister Baldwin house because she cooking. Okay, dad. All right. Come in the
Right.
house and full pans and everything and spread across the counter, across the table, everywhere. Listen, when it came to cooking, Sister Baldwin did that. Okay. I don't think people cook like that, like how she used to do it. That was
Hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So I know you mentioned pain into power. I remember coming out of COVID. COVID was so dark. It was so many people that was that were dying. A whole lot of people, relatives that were passing away, and everybody was locked in the house. And we were trying to come up with something positive to do during that time. Like, what's something we can do? they can kind of put a smile on people's face. So I got together with my cousin Paul and Nick, and we came up with WBAG News. It was birthed from a painful situation, but we turned it into something that we ended up doing shows with people like Tommy Davidson and J. Anthony Brown and people like that. Joe Torre, we chopping it up. We're doing skits with people like that. So coming from the basement with just a green screen and we naturally silly, but you just never know. Like we in Saginaw, Michigan, but we was able to take something small like that, and if you if you got some good content and you doing what you're doing, they will find you. They
Facts.
will find you. Just stay consistent. I know you. We episode 23, cause episode 23. That's the Jordans. You know what I'm saying? We got the Saginaw High Jordans right now. For the Jordan episode 23. Let's go.
Man, listen, you and this podcast. Oh my God, y'all like listen, like what he already said. They already naturally goofy and silly and funny. This podcast, what was it that you used to do? I see the video that you made, the stalker.
Oh yeah.
The stalker. Talk to us about the stalker. That right there, when you first started doing that, oh my goodness, had me crying.
The stalker is a character we uh we had the camera on a long time ago in the studio. We was doing some sessions, Grenard Johnson studio, and we just put the camera on. They just said freestyle something. So I was I just got done looking at that Orange Juice Jones video. I saw you and him. And at the end of the video, he started talking about some, yeah, I followed you last night. Yeah, you cold busted. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do that on camera and see how it goes. So see, people who do that to me remind me of a stalker. So I was like, who's gonna glorify a stalker? So I said, you know what? I might as well. I'm the stalker now. Anytime I want to say something that I really want to say, I'm gonna put them glasses on and that hat, turn that hat backwards, and I'm about to let you have it.
Oh, hilarious. Oh, so hilarious. So what does tell us what WABG, did I say it right?
WBAG.
WBAG, I'm sorry. What does it stand for?
It's W. To be honest with you, I always see people start the TV stations with the W. So W right there. That's for free W. BAG stands for it's got a couple of different meanings. It stands for building the generation because that's what we really try to do. We try to help uplift these young people. So building the generation, and it stands for Black and Gifted because we are Black and Gifted. So WBAG News is something we just we wanted to give you our view of what we thought the news was saying, doing, and skits. Live a Color, Tommy Davidson, who I interviewed, was one of my people I was looking at the most. I'm looking at all of those episodes, and I said I need to do something like that. I mixed a little bit of all of that together, and here, there we go.
Y'all episodes are hilarious. They are fire. And I seen that episode with Tommy Davidson. I was like, yo, cuz out here doing it for real, for real. Like, and it's very inspiring because it lets somebody like me know who's just starting out with a podcast that literally anything is possible. You can do anything, you can however you want to do it. If somebody, somebody can see it, somebody's gonna see it, somebody's gonna pick it up, somebody's gonna want to get on there that I'm gonna speak for myself that I wouldn't expect and be like, yo, what you want to what? Like that is dope that you've had so many people that graced your podcast like that. That's huge, and that's a success in itself.
Now, I want to interject real quick, and
Okay.
I know you're talking to me, but I want to say something to you real quick. You are a very, genuine person. You're a very loving person. You have a lot to say, and I'm glad you have a platform to do that on. Continue, don't stop, keep going, keep going, keep going. We support you.
Thank you. I genuinely appreciate that. I real deal appreciate
Absolutely. I needed to pour that into you. I know I've been a big cousin who kind of always say what I'm gonna say, and that's just it. But I kind of trust me. I'm always watching y'all from afar. Sometimes I might be going through a little bit, but you already know I'm still big cuz.
Thank
Period.
and I needed to hear that. I did. I genuinely needed to hear that because sometimes let's be honest when it comes to being consistent and doing something like this on a regular, because I'm doing this every Wednesday. It does get hard sometimes with working and then life be life. And as you know, keeping up with some things, it can get hard. So I genuinely receive everything what you just said. I receive it. I receive it. I receive it. I thank you for saying that because it was very much so needed.
You ever
Definitely
seen that?
needed.
You ever seen that meme where it's look like they dig in the tunnel, and the person's about ready to stop, and in about a couple inches is a bunch of treasure on the other side. That's how I look
Yes.
at. That's how I look at us, all of us, people who have that it that's in that you need to succeed. You got that. So it's just it's just a matter of time before everybody else find out.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't even know what to say. Thank you. I appreciate that because that was definitely needed for a time, such a time as this. It was definitely needed. Um, like I said, it does get to be sometimes it started to feel repetitive, but I'm like, but I love this. I love getting on here. I love going live. I love bringing somebody on to talk to and getting to hear something that has happened in their life that has impacted them to get them to who they are today. And for example, in your situation, there's somebody else out there that may get to a point to have to do what you're doing, whether may that could be taking care of their mom. Or like you have a podcast, you have encouraged and inspired me, and you ain't even know it. So like when I see you out here doing your thing, and I'm like seeing your episodes, I'm like, okay, all right. Okay, God, if you could do it for him in this capacity, I know you can do it for me. It's just having to stick with it and keep going and don't give up because the moment you give up, it's like what you was almost there. So why are you giving up? So I
Mhm.
appreciate that. I'm definitely gonna keep going. Definitely don't stop. Get it.
Get it, get it. We gonna speak out the book of Luke. Don't stop. Get it, get it.
That's exactly where we coming from. Y'all know what book we talking about, so don't
The
try to act
book
like
of
y'all don't
Luke
know.
Skywalker.
We talking about Minister Skywalker. Y'all know who we
Minister
talking about. Don't act like you don't
Skywalker
know.
with the gold teeth.
Listen, what would you say? I have two questions. So, what would you say to the person that wants to get their podcast going? What would you say to them to encourage them to do it?
Find something that you're passionate about. Do your research and just be you. Have fun. Be you. Find your audience. Continue to find your audience. Use your hashtags. The hashtags is like a detours on the highway. It's going to your audience. So when you're doing your hashtags, find your audience with that.
That's dope. I appreciate you saying that because I sometimes get to a point where I'm like, I'm tired of these hashtags. I'm sick and tired of
Don't be tired of hashtags because hashtags is like we on the highway, but where we going? Okay, we going to the mall where we got 40-year-old black men, and then you got another one with 32-year-old, what I'm saying, black girls. So it's like you got to direct it to where you want it to be, and it'll show up on them pages, and then you grab that audience. So now they're yours.
That is so dope. That is so dope. Y'all heard it. He said, hey, for all y'all content creators that's doing what you do, that's trying to get somewhere, use the hashtag. Listen, that was for me. I needed to hear that because I need to stay on my hashtags. Even though they be getting on my nerves, I got to stay on them hashtags.
Another
Another,
thing I was another thing I was gonna say too. Don't be afraid to use affiliate marketing. Affiliated marketing. You got some type of product. You put the links below. Next thing you know, they sending you product because you moving. You consistent. They know people watching you, so now they sending you free product. Not other people sending you free product. I can't tell you how I'm getting sent bottles, uh drinks, and all types of stuff. And I don't even drink, but they sending it. I gotta give it to somebody else so they can tell me. So how that do it? Make it twing right there? What it do to you? Because I don't know.
they do it, hit you right back in the.
It hit you right in the back of the throat with a K at the end.
Oh man. Oh, that is so good. Y'all heard the advice. Write it down, run it back, rewind it, screen.
Hey, I might be joking, but I wish somebody would have told me about that a lot sooner. Cause I was one of the people that was on YouTube when it first kind of started, and my videos used to have 4 or 5 thousand views on them, and then I ended up getting one with like 20,000 views. What I didn't do is I didn't stay consistent, and I let a whole lot of people pass me, pass me by. I should have blew up on it a long time ago. I did need to go back to school like I did and get better at my craft, and that helped out tremendously. Shout out to the Delta College Media Broadcasting whole squad. Fresh Rich, I met Fresh Rich at that place, and he's doing phenomenal things as well. So it's a lot of great videographers and photographers that come out of. People look at Delta and they think, "Nah, you can't do nothing." Yes, you can. Yes, you can. They definitely help spark what's going on out here. And if you don't believe me, you better ask a few people. Some of the best people from that is from that media broadcasting, Delta College.
That's dope. That is so good. I do have another question for you. What would you say to the person that is at the stages where they do have to care for their parent? What would you say to give them encouragement to keep going and stay encouraged?
Um, it's really that's a hard one because I would say just be supportive. It's a lot of once you get in that healthcare circle and your health start failing a little bit, and you got to kind of depend on these hospitals to take care of your family. They're not gonna take care of them like you will.
That's it.
They won't take care of them like you will. You need to have eyes and ears in there. Sometimes these older people be getting mishandled and strong armed in there. Somebody might have some frustrations at home and they taking it out on the people that they at work that they supposed to be caring for. But I was in there every day. My sister in there, my wife, we were all in there, and she was in a rehab to get stronger to come home. Okay, she need to get home. Period. Because I need to have my eyes on her. And I was working at Wolverine. I learned I was a health administrator, and I was like, "Why am I a health administrator? What do I need to know this for? I'm not gonna ever use this." But I did have to use it with my mother. That's why I knew she was
Mhm.
taking had to take a psychotropic medication for seizure. Like I wouldn't have never known that if I wouldn't have did that. So s- I would say embrace every journey that you have in life because sometimes God is putting stuff in front of you and you don't even know why. He's showing you these things. He's giving you all the tools that you're gonna need for your next journey, and you don't even know why he's doing it. But
That's
but just listen to God and understand that He know better than we do, and that's all. I'm just taking the journey. All the things, all the weapons. It almost feel like what you call them shooting games where you pick up the weapons as you go. You can be picking up bazookas and machine guns, and you don't even know what you're picking up or why you're gonna need it. But then you see this big old animal coming. Oh, that's what I needed it for.
right.
So yeah, that's kind of how life is for me right now. And I'm picking things up and I'm using the weapons, and no weapon formed against us shall prosper. That's what my mother taught me.
That's it. That's it. Listen, this has been I don't even know the word I want to use. This has been an amazing interview. I genuinely and truly appreciate your yes, because you gave us what you're doing right now with Sister Baldwin. You gave us a little bit of your podcast. You gave us about some things you have to put on halt right now for the moment. It's just, is the halt is not a forever halt. It's just, it don't mean you're denied. It's just not right now. And that's okay. You're telling me, I hear you saying it's okay that some things is not right now because other things take priority and come first.
Yep, delayed, not denied.
That's it. Delayed, not denied. And even in the process of delayed and not denied, you have so much success already that you have come across in other ways that you've been successful. So when you do get a delay, don't stress. Like what you say, Sister Baldwin said. If you gonna worry, don't pray.
We're gonna pray, don't worry.
That's it. That's it right there. That's it. That's all. So I genuinely and truly appreciate you joining on this evening and coming to talk to us about your pain into power story. Is there anything that you have, anything that you would like to say to us before we close out?
Hey, y'all be beautiful. I told you we did this because I did this because of you, because of who you are. So understand there's gonna be some people who's gonna feel comfortable with you. And that's gonna be your secret sauce for the future. Because everybody's not you. I pour blessings to my young cousins all the time. That's my final word. I love y'all.
And I love you so much more back. I genuinely and truly do. And you ain't about to get me up on here and cry because that's what's about to come up.
I
And
felt a couple onions a couple times, but we gonna thug it out. I'm Tupac
right.
cuz.
So I'm gonna hold my eyes like this.
I'm crazy.
Listen, y'all. Can y'all imagine being around my family like all the time? Do y'all understand this is what we do? We find joy, we have joy, we laugh. That's something that we are known for. We all have a good time when we together. As you like, come on now.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's no way you can come into a room with us and not laugh. It's not gonna happen.
Right. Right.
If you don't laugh, you the problem. It sure ain't us. I'm just gonna give
It
real.
ain't. Yeah. That
You
part.
pull a stick out, you be a stick in the mud. Just saying. But
Already.
like I said, Reg, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for your yes. Thank you so much for doing this with me. Thank you so much for trusting me with your vulnerability and coming into this space with me. I appreciate you and I thank you so much for everything that you have said today, the advice that you have given, your encouraging words to me and pouring into me. You don't know how much that means to me. I genuinely appreciate all of that and for your time and your patience with me while I'm doing this, because I don't know where it's going, but it's gonna go somewhere. And
It definitely is.
it's something we taking off.
Absolutely. Okay. Anytime you ever need me, I'm here.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Y'all, listen. Like he said, this was our Jordan episode number 23. Okay. Up until next Wednesday, I have another special guest coming to grace us in the power seat. I'm not even going to give y'all a heads up this time. Okay. I'm going to let y'all sit around and wait to see who it's going to be. All right. So up until next Wednesday, Reggie, again, thank you so much. We'll see y'all next Wednesday. And y'all know what it is every single time right here on YouTube on this Wake 'em Up Wednesday. I holla.